Good day, viewers. Can a deaf and dumb person be a teacher to peoples who are not deaf and dumb? You're welcome, viewers. Uh, in my last video, we couldn't finish section 17. We stopped at sign 168. So today we continue from 169. What was left was very short. It appears also to me that the in the last tablet there were stories that I should have read to you. I realized it later. So that one too wasn't complete. And the Quran chapter 17 too wasn't complete. So today it's only important or it's only necessary that we do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So we shall do small Quran, the new few verses left, and then go to the tablets and do the few stories that were left in there as well. Let's go. Verse, oh sorry, verse or sign 169 of chapter 17. Wala tusabanna, wala tusabanna allazina kutilu fi sabilillahi amwatan. Think not of those who are slain in God's way as dead. Think of them. Don't think of them as being dead. That's what this verse is telling them. If you fight in the way of God and you are killed, the living one shouldn't think of you as being dead. That's what this means. La tusabanna allazina kutilu fi sabilillahi amwatan dead. Bal ahya'an bal ahya'un bal ahya'un. Don't think of them as dead. Nay, they live. Ahya'un, they live. In the Rabihim yurzakuna. Nay, they live, finding their sustenance from their Lord. This is what God is telling us. We shouldn't think of people who are killed in a war as being dead. They are there. They are with their Lord, getting sustenance, good sustenance from Him all of the time. So if you are killed in a war, you are with God and you are getting sustenance from Him all the time. This makes me very happy. I've always been thinking of my granddad, Osman, who was killed in the Second Boer War after he fought the first one. So God is telling me He's getting sustenance from God. Oh my God, this gladdens my heart. Mm. Sorry for going a bit personal. Okay, let's go to verse 170 or Psalm 170. uh, Fari, Farihina bima at Farihina bima atahum Allahu min fadlihi wa yastabshiruna billazina lam yalhaqu bihim min halifahim. It continues with the dead ones in war, or you can call them martyrs. It continues to the martyrs. They rejoice in the bounty provided by God. And with regard to those left behind who have not yet joined them in their bliss, that's in bracket, in their bliss, the martyrs glory in the fact that on them is no fear. Sorry, uh, sorry, I didn't read it well. Okay, let me go back to Arabic. فرحين بما آتيهم الله من فضله ويستبشرون بالذين لم يلحقوا بهم من خلفهم. Allah khawfu alayhim wala hum yahzunun. Yes. So I'll take the whole verse again in English. They rejoice in the bounty provided by God, and with regard to those who they do, and with regard to do, and with regard to those they left behind, who have not yet joined them in their bliss. That's people like me. Let me shake my head. So that's people like me. With regards to those who have not yet joined them in their bliss, them in the bliss, into brackets, the Matthias, that's the dead ones, that's my grandfather. Glory in the fact that on them is no fear. Yes, on me is no fear. Hmm? No, nor have they cause to grieve. Or do I have cause to grieve? I always wish my granddad were there so I could have been scripted in the army. They say, God is telling me, don't grieve. And people like me, please, I'm not just being personal. People like me, you love somebody in a war and you are grieving for him. God says, do not grieve. They are enjoying. They are enjoying, and you go and meet them enjoying. All that you have to do is to pray, to be steadfast in your prayers. Hmm? Okay, we go to I suppose the last sign. Yes, we go to the last sign, which is 171. And what does it say? It still continues with the martyrs or the martyrs, sorry, continues with the martyrs or concerning the martyrs. Yes, tabshiruna binimatin min la yes tabshiruna binimatin min Allah wa fadlan wa inna Allah la yadi'u ajral mu'minin. So still about the matters, still about the matters. They rejoice in the grace and the bounty from God, and in the fact that God suffers not the reward of the faithful to be lost in the least. So, and in the fact that God suffers not the reward of the faithful to be lost. So, if you are faithful to God, your reward is always there. It's kept in the fridge for you. Let me use Ghanaian term. It will never fail you. You will never miss it. Yes, in other words, eh, if you are prayerful, you will never lose your reward. Don't think that you are faithful praying to God, always you will lose your reward. No, 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 no. Your reward doesn't come to you there in life. It is there for you. It is safe in God's fridge for you. It will come later. What a beautiful sign. Mm. So those of us who pray always, and we think we are not getting results, that's not the case with God. Evil ones harm you all the time. Evil ones want you down. They want to pull you down. PhD, pull him down. Eh? Sometimes they are able to do it. Sometimes they are not. Don't bother. God is aware of all these things. Who Basirun Alim. He is all seeing and he's all knowing. Eh? Your reward is there. And one day they will see it with their own eyes. My Nigerian brothers would say with their kolo kolo eyes. Their kolo kolo eyes. I don't know what kolo kolo is, whether it's turkey or what, the bird turkey. Mm? So whatever good you do, your reward is there. You will never fail it. The reward of the faithful, and in the fact that God suffereth not the reward of the faithful to be in the least, to be lost in the least. So that's the end. That's a good ending for that verse to encourage prayerful people. Good. Now, I said a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So we finish with a little bit of this. We are now going to a little bit of that. There are stories that I should have read. Maybe later. I don't know if later I can still find more stories. This is a letter from a hungry soldier Let me use the word hungry. Hungry in inverted commas. Eh? Uh, a loving soldier, a soldier in love. Sorry, a soldier in love to the love and life people. Let's read it. Dear editor, I was filled with absolute excitement and sensations I cannot describe when I read your Love and Life newspaper for the first time. May God bless you richly, give you foresight and direction to enable you achieve your ultimate goal for your life. I am a soldier on a peacekeeping mission for the United Nations in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Full stop. Paragraph. I was hypnotized by the elegant and immaculate posture of the lady by name Joycelyn. I didn't read the title. The title was Link Me Up with Joycelyn. Yes, Link Me Up with just Joycelyn. That's the October 20th to 26th edition, October 20th to 26th, 2002 edition of Love and Love, which I've done earlier in uh, two or about two videos backward. So, uh, I was hypnotized by the elegant and immaculate posture of the lady by name Jocelyn, who is said to be a singer with the Bibini music fame. I would be very grateful if you can link me up with her through my address as above. You either give me her address so that I write to her, or give her my address so that she writes to me. He's serious. Oh. This is no joke. Oh. Eh? He's been very hungry at the peacekeeping site in the Congo. He had been very hungry. So he's very serious. Hungry in inverted commas. Hmm? Uh, I'll be very grateful if you can link me up with her so that, as above, uh, sorry, I will be very grateful if you can link me up with her through my address as above. You either give her my address so that I write her, or give her my address so that she will write me. Hmm? Paragraph. I shall give her details about myself if I receive her letter. However, if she has a husband, the husband should not panic. I am not dangerous. Can you believe that? You are in peacekeeping in the Republic of Congo. You don't see women. Somebody comes on paper and you see her. And you are saying that if the fellow doesn't have husband, if the fellow has a husband, the husband shouldn't panic because you are not venomous. Venomous being my word. Hmm? Because you are not dangerous. Let me see. Because I am not dangerous. I really admire and love her. You are talking double. You are not dangerous, but you really admire and love her. If you come into contact, what is going to happen? Come on, soldier man. Divert your hunger to another place. Eh? I wish Elijah Kokode were here. He would have dealt with you. Soldier Banza. Anyway, you are not soldier Banza. We understand you went to do military, your duty as a soldier. Hmm? And you don't have a wife, and you need a wife. You've been lonely for a long time. But divert your loneliness to another woman if she has a husband. So the last part of your uh, speech sentence doesn't hold water. Hmm? Okay. If she has a husband, the man should not panic because I am not dangerous. I really admire and love her. I wish to establish good relations with her. Thanks for your cooperation. May your efforts be touched by the Lord. Stay blessed for now. The late the date of the said publication is Sunday, August 4th, 10th, August 4th, 10th, volume 3, number 134. I shall be in the country by the middle of November 2002. I, however, wish to read from or have her details before I come down. New paragraph. For the reply, no stamp is needed. Just write forces mail as I did on your envelope and post it to me. Please, I am waiting impatiently. Love is equal. If you are in love, my brother, the only difference between you and those in asylum uh, is that you are free to roam about and they are not. Mhm. So, and listen to the answer given from the editor. Editor's note: Jocelyn is a young student, and we won't know how her parents would react if we link you up with her. If she were out of school and independent, we would be happy to link you up. But until then, accept our apologies. But I tell you, that's not the way, that's not the end. I tell you, if Jesslyn and her parents are interested in the soldier, they will contact her. They will contact him. Hmm? Of course, from the paper, she's lonely. She's still in school. If she likes the soldier and he's coming down with goodies from Congo, oh my God, you can trust women. You'll find a way of contacting him to enjoy the booty that he's coming down with. Hmm? And the soldier can now enjoy their company. So I don't know if they came together or not. So, Mr. Sojaman, Sergeant T, congratulations if you had her. Hmm? Uh, now, in this is about religion. The title is Catholic Church, the Bible, and Mary. Hmm? Yes, I remember reading it. But let me, in those days, let me read it again here for people, for you. As for the Roman Catholic Church, it most of the time baffles me. As for the Roman Catholic Church, it most of the time baffles me. Can they tell the whole world their standard and authoritative book whose doctrine or teachings they base their church on? They base their church on? Paragraph. If it is the Bible, then why is it that they relegate the central theme and figure of that book, Jesus Christ, to the background, and push his mother Mary, into his place? So I hope the Catholics are listening. Mm. Uh, there are ample quotations in the Bible which prove that Jesus Christ is the Savior of the world and not his favorite mother, Mary, through whom he, Jesus, came into the world. And these are the quotations. Matthew 1, Matthew 1, 18 to 23. Matthew 1, 18 to 23. Then 25. Matthew 1, column 18 to 23. Then column again. Let me read it that way. Then 25. Then it came Matthew 3, 13 to 17. Matthew 28, 16 to 20. Mark 1, column 1 to 11. Then Mark 4, 35 to 41. Mark 16, 6 to 20. Luke 1, 26 to 38. Luke 2, 8 to 14. Then John 3, 14 to 21. John 4, 7 to 15. John 6, John 6, 25 to 40. John 6, 41 to 59. John 7, 14 to 18. Then 7, 35 to 39. John 8, 12 to 21. John 15, 1 to 10. John 19, 25 to 27, Acts 3, 1 to 19, Acts 4, 8 to 12, John 4, 14 to 16, 1 Timothy 4 to 6, 1 Peter 1 to 18, First Peter, I, don't know, I think it's First Peter, 1 Peter 1, 1 Peter 1, 18 to 19, Colossians 2, 8 to 12, Rev, Revelation 1, 17 to 19, then 6, 1 to 2. The second major theme is the Bible, which is Jesus on second major message after the second major theme in the Bible, which is Jesus's, which is Jesus's on second, I don't know, it's Jesus apostrophe, which is Jesus on second major message after salvation is healing. But that one too is not permitted in the Catholic Church. Any Roman father who is gifted with the gift of healing is either summoned to the white pope in Rome to be chastised to abandon his satanic mission, or he is disfellowshipped. Paragraph. They've, these few quotations are enough to prove to all, especially the Catholics, that freeing people from their afflictions is the second cardinal point of Jesus' message after salvation. Uh, After salvation. Then some references again, or quotations as my Christian brothers will say. Mm. Uh, Mark 4, 17 to 25. No, it's not Mark, it's Matthew. Matthew 4, 17 to 25. Matthew 8, 1 to 7. Mark 1, 21 to 41. Mark 8, 1 to 26. Luke 4, 14 to 21. Luke 10, 1 to 12. John 5, 1 to 8. John 9, 1 to 12. James 5, 13 to 15. Peter 2, 21 to 25. Full stop. If this is the true fact, then why are the Catholic hierarchy against healing yet claim to be Christians? Who wrote this? Anani Kontomajo. Anani Kontomaji. Maybe you wrote this a long time. Today we see people forcing themselves huh, to let people see that they are healing, when in fact they are faking. Anani, if you are alive, do you agree with me? A lot of people say, a lot of Christians say they are healing, when in fact they are not healing, but they are faking. They are deceiving the public to the extent that they are even waking dead people in their churches. Hmm? Why don't you tell them to go to their family members who are dead and bring them to life? Hmm? Or watch them when a member of their family dies, say, "Oh, Pastor, bring him to life for us to see." So, Anani, the Catholics, I think here they are right. Hmm? So, let's see. Uh, let me read that part again, if I can. Okay. But if the Catholics are not Christians, then why do they use? Okay. If this is the true fact, then why are the Catholic hierarchy against healing yet claim to be Christians? Then paragraph, new paragraph, last paragraph. Sorry. But if the Catholics are not Christians, then why do they use the Bible? But if they are not Christians and also don't base their church doctrine on the Bible, then it's time they told the whole world the particular prophet they follow and the holy book on whose doctrine they operate their church. Anani, P.O. Box 13, Sakumono, Anani Kotomajo, P.O. Box 13, Sakomono, Tema. So, Anani, I don't know if today you've changed your stance, but I think here the Catholics are right, mm, because of fake people. And this is drawing many people into Christendom who claim they are pastors when in fact they are not pastors. eh? I will call them stomach pastors. It's their stomachs that drive them to be pastors, to deceive people to make money. Mm. Uh, let's see what is there. Lady Santana becomes a hammer. The new mini series. Advantage Okay, let's go to page 9 of the paper and read. This is an interesting story too. The best man wants sex to keep his mouth shut. Ah, this sex matter. Sex go kill us. Oh. Eh? This sex matter. The best man, listen to the title. The best man wants sex to keep his mouth shut. In other words, you open it, you open the jaws. Wham. If you want to keep the mouth shut, give him sex. Hmm? Give him bottom, buttocks, give him body. Okay, let's go. Your expert advice would go a long way to relieve me of what has become a nightmare. Sleep is difficult to come, and I cannot even eat. This this writing is from a lady. Hmm? What's the name of the lady? Worried Julian Takrade. She's called, pardon me. She's called Worried Julian Takrade. So let's continue. New paragraph. So I find it difficult to sleep and I cannot eat. Yes. New paragraph. I am in a very intricate love treachery and blackmail triangle, and I need the services of a high brain to slip through insidious trap that is about to snap any time from now. It is worse than a booby trap. It's a simple thing. The people will give you their point of view. Uh, it is worse than a booby trap. Paragraph. 3 years ago, I fell in love with a young man, but that aside, I must admit that my moral history is not very savory or complimentary. When I was in senior secondary school, I had a lover who was my classmate. He loved me so much that whenever we didn't see each other, we became worried and downcast, even in school. Sorry, so downcast, full stop. Even in school, he pledged on his life that he would marry no one apart from me. It was a pledge made from his heart. And it is this same young man who is asking for sex as a payback, uh, for his, what do I call it? For his I don't. I think he gave her gifts for his loyalty to this girl. Let me say loyalty to this girl. So it was a pledge made from his heart. Daniel even said, yes, that's the name. The name is Daniel. I think Daniel is the one threatening her. Daniel even said, if I disappointed him, he would commit suicide. Full stop. During vacations, he would travel from Tema to Accra 3 times a week just to be with me. He would bring me gifts of all kinds, and although we did not have sex, anybody could see that we were in love. I see. The girl also didn't do well. Let's read on. Things began to change when the headmaster of the school started making designs on me in our third year. I had grown into a really beautiful girl, and the teachers were all over me. The headmaster was the most aggressive. Paragraph. He showered gifts and money to me and promised to assist me to get top grades in the final SSS. Can you hear that? This thing is happening in the universities. Our young ladies go there as virgins, and the lecturers open them up, and they do it yearly for all the newcomers, but people don't realize it. Mm? And that's free, adultly free education for them. So let's see. uh, he will bring me gifts and all kinds, and although we do not have, that's not where he showered me with gifts. I decided with gifts and money on me and promised to assist me. How? And promised to assist me to get top grades in the final SSS. I decided that there was no harm being friendly to the headmaster if that could earn me top grades. You see, he's able to convince her. It would strictly be a platonic relationship, and I told the headmaster to. How? Are you serious? You think the headmaster will like it? Hmm? Okay. He accepted it that way, but no. But one day he asked me to meet him in his house for a discussion. We drank tea, and he discussed the forthcoming exams and how best he could assist me. Look at that! Look at that! This is good lesson for everybody. Hmm? Your daughter, your daughter is rotten, and then she comes out with her fly class, first class, upper, second class, upper, second class. It's usually the second class they give them, fearing the first class would be too much for them. So we drank tea and we discussed the forthcoming exams and how best he could assist me. After the discussions, he asked me to reward him for all the gifts, money, and the support he was offering me. The reward? Question mark. Yes, he wanted little romance. He pushed his hands into my dress. You can trust men, and took my nipples in between his thumb and forefinger. He rolled my nipples and I melted. Kai! Let me repeat that. He rolled my nipples and I melted. Oh, this confession, this true confession. Soon he was groping for my panties, and before I knew, it was all over my knees. It was all over my knees. I stooped and he took me from behind. 2 minutes later, it was all over and he gave me 100,000 cedis. It was big money at the time. Let me repeat this part. 2 minutes later, that's just 2 minutes game. Because of 2 minutes, you will suffer for years. Somebody suffered for years traveling between Tema and Accra, 3 times a week, and never got that 2 minutes enjoyment. Nigerian brothers will say enjoyment. Never got that 2 minutes enjoyment. You are going to give it to a headmaster because of grace. A woman like you, student Banza Kokode would say. Okay, let's go on. I stopped and took, I stooped and he took me from behind. 2 minutes later, it was all over and he gave me 100,000 cedis. It was big money at the time. Paragraph. It turned out that during the examinations, I was pregnant. I made my boyfriend understand that it was malaria, but word had gone round that the headmaster at least at last. Sorry, the headmaster had got me at last, and that my so-called malaria should not be blamed on the common mosquito. You can trust students that the malaria should not be blamed on the common mosquito. She shouldn't tell a lie on mosquitoes. Mosquitoes have nothing to do with her vomiting. Eh? Because it was no malaria after all. The insect had no hand in my vomiting. The insects have no hand in my vomiting. This is a confession from a girl who rumors were rife. My luck was that it was during the examination week that I got pregnant, and after the exams, I left for home. Managed to communicate with the headmaster. He gave me some money available. Oh, he made some money available, and I undertook an abortion. This confession, true confession. At full stop, new paragraph. At Legon, where I went next. Yes, she got the grade. The teacher actually helped her to make a good grade. At Legon, where I went next, I fell in love with a coursemate, and after school, we decided to get wedded to each other. He is some he is someone I love and cherish. Paragraph. The wedding was all arranged and completed, and my husband, or should I say, would-be husband, and his best man would land land on the day of the wedding. Well, however, the best man was sorry. Well, whoever the best man was, I cared less about it. Paragraph. But on the wedding day, my heart sank when I realized that my husband's best man was my former school time lover. I realized that my husband's best man was my former school time lover. I believe this was Daniel. This should be Daniel. I believe so. Okay. I was so shocked that I didn't particularly enjoy the wedding, but I had to do with it. Keeping straight keeping straight face and getting the ceremony over it, over with, and getting the ceremony over with. Paragraph. After the wedding, my ex-boyfriend, the best man, came to me and reminded me that I had disappointed him and that he needed to be pacified. Otherwise, he was going to tell all about my relationship with our school headmaster, the the abortion scandal, and all that mess. So, in other words, he didn't commit suicide. He said if he loses you, he will commit suicide. Why didn't he commit suicide? Yeah, yeah, boyfriend Banza, you couldn't commit suicide. Huh? Okay. Anyway, that's good. It's not good to commit suicide biblically and Quranically. It's bad. Thou shalt not kill. Don't kill yourself. Okay. Uh, Scandal and all that mess. So, new paragraph. And could you ever believe that all he wants is one round of sex from me to keep his big mouth shut? Women go through hell, oh. Everybody one round, this one round, this one round, just to satisfy themselves. Hmm? Men, we are useless, we are hopeless. All that is in our head is sex. Anyway, so is women. Women too is the same thing. Sex, 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 sex. Hmm? As if sex were oxygen. I repeat, as if sex were oxygen. Okay. Uh-huh. And could you believe that all he wants is one round of sex from me to keep his mouth shut? Question mark. He won't accept the 1 million cedis I'd offered him. Yay. He wouldn't accept the 1 million cedis I offered him, and whatever he tells my husband, he would believe it, and he would also go and make more enquiries about my past, which I don't want exposed at all. My husband sees me as an angel. Hmm. Love, love, love. You marry somebody you don't know the past, and she will never tell you till death do you apart. Hmm? Okay. My husband sees me as an angel. Paragraph. Should I give in to his demand? Question. Question mark. I believe if he gets what he wants, he will shut up. Oh, she's getting convinced. Okay. He says when he was my lover, I never offered him sex. So he wants sex, and then he will forget about the Mara, about the Mara. Please advise me. And this is the advice following. Mhm. Dear Julian, the first thing I should warn you about is that blackmailers are never satisfied. And once you accede to the demands of a blackmailer, he will come again and again and make you miserable. So don't accept his demands. Good advice. Paragraph. It will even be very sinful on your part to agree to sex with no other person than the best man at your wedding. Paragraph. I will advise you to call him bluff. Full stop. Tell him plainly that he could go ahead and tell your husband all about the headmaster and whatever else he wanted to say. Full stop. Add that you don't care what he says. That's a brave, that's brave advice. And that's a brave piece of advice for a woman who should be brave. So add that you don't care what he says. Paragraph. I believe very much that he would not dare do it because he also would not want to come out that he was demanding sex from a wife of the groom to whom he performed a best man. Yeah, the girl was worried. But this man too, he would be ashamed if he also says, look, your best man came to me to demand sex. He also wouldn't like it. That's good advice from the paper. Uh, Demanding sex from the wife of a groom to whom he performed as best man. Yeah. Paragraph, last paragraph. In any case, if he tells your husband, admit everything to him. If you tell him the truth, he will sympathize with you because you were a little girl taken advantage of. That won't end the marriage, and your so called best man can then be exposed as a wicked best man. Let me go Nigerian as a wicked best man. We say wicked, they say wicked. I think wicked, the strength of wicked is more than the word wicked. Eh? Expose your best friend as a wicked best man. Oh, sorry. And all so-called best man can be exposed as a wicked best man. Uh, Viewers, I think we can stop here. The rest of the stories cannot be read because there are nine stories there because of the part that have been chopped off. Maybe some sweet thing poured on the paper and the ants gnawed on it. Or ants or rodents, I don't know. So, viewers, today a little bit of that, or a little bit of this, and a little bit of that. In our next video, I believe we'll go to the papers. Whatever it is, yes, I believe we'll go to the papers. If we don't, anyway, it's okay for both me and you. So thank you very much. Ila Bye bye. Take care of yourself. Please subscribe for me.